sense things like, hey, how about a DNA test to make sure that the sponsor is actually related to the child as they say they are? And these are things that the Democrats and the Biden administration fought. I mean, it's just incomprehensible. Frankly, I think it's evil that you would put an unaccompanied child who crossed the border, probably got raped along the way, and handed him over to somebody that we have no idea if they're related to. And we knew, as you showed, that they were gang members trying to get these kids.
If only Americans could know the real number of cases handled by the local district attorney's offices in Swamptuary cities like New York City, where there are so many cases of gross sexual abuses against minors and children who are as little as 5 years old and even younger. Those crimes are constantly going on, at least in New York City. It is sort of day-by-day stuff inside local district attorney's offices in the city, but nobody talks about it. There is a huge problem regarding raping of children inside the Hispanic community by their own family members. Domestic violence cases are also big. Again, children are being abused a lot by their own family members. A lot of Hispanic children are abused in those cities, in Swamptuary cities, by their cousins, brothers, and in many cases, believe it or not, they are sexually abused by their own fathers and grandfathers. Yes, you heard it right, grandfathers. Statistics in this respect are high when it comes to, for instance, countries like the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Ecuador, Honduras, and Guatemala. But no New York City council member, senator, or House-elected Democrat in New York City wants to shine any light on this issue, and they know plenty about it. The thing is that if someone brought any real attention to this, Marxist Democrats and the media will gaslight the public through the narrative of racism and wrongful targeting of the Hispanic community. But the truth is that these are day-by-day cases handled by local district attorneys' offices all over New York City, and a huge number of those Hispanics have paid thousands of dollars to human traffickers, known as coyotes, so that they get crossed across the United States border illegally. Many of those Hispanics are illiterate in their own language, in Spanish, go figure. It is terribly sad that many innocent Hispanic children are being abused as we speak in those Swamptuary cities by their own family members, and not to mention the huge amount of Hispanic children that are already in the hands of those criminal networks, and that maybe we never even get to know that they once existed. What is more, those criminals are being protected by anti-American criminally complicit laws like the elimination of bail, and those laws were specifically created for Swamptuary cities, because that is exactly what they are, Swamptuary cities. The crook implementation of what Democrats approved in 2019 and named Vision 2020 for New York City, that started effectively on January 1st, 2020. What happened? Bail was completely eliminated in the state of New York. Those laws are crime complicit and evil, and it is a big disgrace for New York City. There is no way on earth that New York Democrats don't know what they are doing. They know the type of constituents they have in their districts. This is by design.
Now, I'm interested in this, Tara, because you're seeing a lot of activists, left-wing Democrat activists right now, really concerned about, like the 5-year-old boy they found that was abandoned by his own father, who ran away when they captured him. They're really concerned about the conditions in these detention centers. Did you see any Democrats worried about the conditions inside of detention centers for these unaccompanied children during the Biden years?
Hell no, of course not.
So, Rachel, this is the height of hypocrisy. As you know, whistleblowers, DHS whistleblower Aaron Stevenson, me, along with a team of people from HHS, all blowing whistle, all in 2021, saying children were being trafficked, children were being forced to work in overnight shifts in slaughterhouses, children were going to MS-13. They knew it and they did not care.
Did you just hear the year? 2021. Very convenient. For instance, when it comes to New York. Because right after the approval of the elimination of bail in New York State and during the pandemic time, those type of cases grew exponentially. The cartels and human trafficking networks had practically no restrictions to freely operate all over the United States territory. It was a freaking party time for all criminals. This is why we are not talking about a small number of missing children today that were illegally trafficked into the United States. No, the number of trafficked children all over the United States is staggering. We are talking about at least 500,000 children, and sadly maybe more. And I hope I am wrong, because the numbers are higher than what the government suspects of, simply because in most cases, in a huge amount of cases, there is not one single verifiable document, either in English or Spanish, nor any way to trace the illegal entry of those children into the country, including the specific way in which criminal networks handled and trafficked those children throughout the huge territory of the United States. It is sad, but it's true.
When we went to testify before Congress, we were attacked, and it's absolutely the height of hypocrisy now to say that ICE should not be going out saving these children. Tom Homan made a commitment and the president said we are going to get public safety threats and national security threats off our streets. Guess what? That's what child traffickers are. That's what pedophiles are. And they should be out there, and they are doing a wonderful job finding these kids.